The computer, an extension of the human intellect. The NCOM 511, center of the most calculating intelligence on Earth. Programmed by Master Control to survive by all means. Soon, the ultimate tool will become the ultimate enemy.
I still do not understand why you want to break into the system.
Because, man, somewhere in one of these memories is the evidence. Hey, it's the big Master Control program everybody's been talking about.
Kevin Flynn, computer genius. Taken prisoner and held captive within the digital world of the computer itself. Trapped inside an electronic arena where love and escape do not compute. Enter its world this summer.
Hi everyone and welcome once again to Geekfest Rants. Today we are doing another commentary. This time around we're tackling Tron, the original Tron. We are watching a Blu-ray version of it, and joining me today is Steve Squared. Steve and Steve, say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hey there, how you doing?
Cool. Well, this is a movie that, while it might have been somewhat of a financial disappointment for Disney, it became somewhat influential later, way later. It became kind of like a cult classic. We've talked about this in the past. We've done specials on the year 1982. This came out in 82, and this is one of those films that was kind of like a victim to that year, to the big blockbusters that year hit, especially with E.T. But somehow this movie kind of stayed in everybody's cult area, and all of a sudden, about 2 years ago, the news that they were going to do a sequel started to kind of percolate in the internet. Now, they've tried doing a sequel to this a couple times, but they never were able to do it. But finally, they were a year ago. So let's get ready to start watching. Everybody, I'm going to give you the usual visual cues for the movie. So pop in your disc and hit play, and let's see where it takes us. All right, now, first visual cue you're going to get is... Stand by. Distributed by Buena Vista Distribution Company, Inc. This is the movie. Walt Disney Productions presents. And here comes your last cue.
War Games. No, just kidding. Sorry, it was the font.
And we are assembling Tron.
Whoa.
Okay, we're in, guys.
Yeah.
We're in, like, on the grid? Or,
We on the
Well,
grid?
it looks like it. That's what it looks like.
I think so.
Wow.
I'd like to go onto the grid.
Groovy. Oh, and then we transition to Flynn's Arcade. I wish we had a Flynn's Arcade here.
Yeah.
Now, this is the 80s, but to me, the film still looks a little 70s.
70s.
Sure.
There's a certain quality to whatever film stock they use, I guess, that it's still that in between late 70s, early 80s type of look to it.
It bleeds. The 70s bleed into the 80s.
All right, now here's my first major gripe about the film. You jump right into the grid. I don't like how they're mixing and matching the real world with being inside the game.
There is no reveal. We're in it already.
Yeah, it just jumps
kinda,
right into it.
Missed an opportunity to have this moment. In Tron Legacy, they keep it very separate.
Right.
Which
Yes.
I appreciate that the narrative structure there. I mean, this is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, here you go again. Here we
Yeah.
go. We're in the game already, and we were inside, and it's wow. Look at those matte lines. My God.
Unbelievable.
So now, this is called backlit animation, Carlos. You're the special effects guy.
I forget the term for
Yeah,
this. but
backlit animation. And basically, what they do is they shoot in black and white, and then after the fact, they go in and they rotoscope all of the effects onto the actual film itself. So they're painting all of those individual colors and textures onto the black and
Onto
white
the black-
film.
okay.
Yeah.
And the black and white it's kind of so you can have a clean canvas
Right.
to paint.
Exactly.
You know, you still have your shades of gray and everything, but okay, this guy is Londo from Babylon 5.
Oh, Peter Jurassic.
That's Peter Jurassic.
Oh my God.
There is a double Babylon 5 connection in this film. Him and Bruce Boxleitner.
Bruce Boxleitner.
right.
Right. Sheridan.
I can't believe how rich these colors look.
This looks gorgeous.
I've seen this on regular DVD, but there's a difference here.
Is Ram.
Who shows up on the DVD extras
Of Legacy.
Legacy. Hopefully will
And-
play a role in the
And
future
yeah,
films.
if they do a third one.
Well, I know that this was shot in Super 65 millimeter Panavision. So the rationale behind that is, well, we want more. We want to get as much resolution as possible, so that we have a larger canvas on which to work to paint all
paint.
these things. Plus,
For-
you have
for
black-
detail, obviously.
Exactly. And the misnomer about this film is that it's completely
CGI.
CGI,
Which
and
is,
while there are CGI elements in the film, and we'll point them out as we go through, predominantly it is this backlit animation, quote unquote, process that they're employing. But it looks so different at the time, and here we are. Meanwhile, in the real world,
Here we are, Jeff Bridges.
Definitely not Windows. This is a time where when you would see computers on films and even television,
this
it would be
is
kind of like
CGI.
Yes.
yes, computers would be kind of like a thing where you can just type anything and it would give you any kind
Any
of
answer.
It's like, "Hello, computer, how are you feeling? I'm feeling fine. How are
Right.
you?" It's always
Right. It could answer a direct question.
yes.
So again, the backstory here is that Jeff Bridges' character, Kevin Flynn, has created an avatar of himself named Clue, who essentially is a protector within any of the individual programs that he writes to preserve, the coding or to go after any type of viruses. Which again, even talking about a computer virus in 1982, people wouldn't know what the heck we're talking about.
It was confusing.
But this version of Clue is a little
Vastly different.
vastly
from
different than the
Legacy.
Clue in Legacy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that anybody, a younger person watching this film who wasn't around when we saw it, would just make the assumption it's all CGI.
Right.
Right. And a lot of it, yes, it is CGI, but a lot of it is also animation. It's
Right.
it's a
Hybrid.
right. It's you fake it, kind of like Star Wars. You don't have
Yes.
CGI, so you fake computer screens. You fake things that today would have been done by
Like
CGI.
wireframe.
Yeah, all that stuff you fake it.
Jeff Bridges is using his Starman voice. That's cool.
And again, we have to keep in mind that the reason it was so limited is because you didn't have computers that could hold or process the amount of information that was being created
At a good speed.
At a
It takes
good speed,
forever to
absolutely.
render something.
And I think that you were using multiple houses to do, like, somebody would do the recognizers, somebody would do the solar sailor, somebody would do,
I believe it was four different vendors working on the animation.
Now, at the time this came out, this was a big investment for Disney.
Oh, my God.
Because Disney, obviously, we all know Disney as the cartoon kid, film company.
Right.
But they've always tried to branch out into the film part, the live action. And this, obviously, is a combination of live action
And animation.
somewhat animation.
which is, I think, what appealed to Disney when Steven Lisberger brought this project to him. I think they were the only studio that were interested in taking on this.
Yeah, there were
Project.
several other studios, and they
Yeah.
they wanted no part of it.
And I mean, I think it bears mentioning that at the time that this was released, Disney was very much in flux. They were not quite the juggernaut that they are.
Yes.
That we know them to be.
Their animation department was a mess. They
They were re-releasing-
and the
I don't think
detective.
they did the Black Cauldron. Wasn't that the other guy? That was Disney.
That was Disney. That was one of their. That was their almost Star Wars knockoff that
Right.
didn't go anywhere.
And they buried it for years.
But they were in this. This was before the Renaissance of Disney.
Yes.
This was before
the Black
Little
Hole,
Mermaid and all that stuff.
Right. The Black Hole had failed.
And ironically, they are trying to remake the Black Hole now.
Yes.
Wow. Pixelation before there was pixelation.
I'm wondering, like, how soon, like, how the time span between shooting this scene and the scene when he's in the tank. He's talking like his speech is very robotic.
Robotic, right.
And now he's very regular Jeff Bridges.
Meanwhile, in Blue Thunder,
Cool helicopter.
That is a cool helicopter.
it's nice.
I can't get over how gorgeous this looks.
Yeah. So the backstory here is that NCOM,
Make it even
well, Jeff Bridges' character Kevin Flynn was a visionary programmer, and NCOM, I guess, stole his work and cut him out of the deal.
right.
We just saw David Warner.
David
One of
Warner.
the greatest character actors. Plays a great villain in this.
Time after time.
Time after
Star
time.
Trek 6.
Star Trek 6. He's in Titanic. He was evil in Time Bandits.
Right. Right.
I love him in
He
that.
plays Dillinger. He also plays Sark, and he also plays the voice of the MCP, Master Control Program.
And I'm hoping he shows up on a future
He should.
sequel.
He should.
Yeah.
Well,
Because his son showed up.
I mean, just think about this: a touchscreen on the desk at the time.
Yeah.
You guys working on a big iPad.
And I've seen stuff like this now. These huge desks
Yeah.
they try to sell you with.
Well, now, like, even in contemporary television, like Hawaii Five-0, they're using these flat...
Oh, CSI.
Yeah.
These like holographic screens and stuff like
and
that.
using, touch to...
Very Minority Report-ish technology.
MCP is kind of like Skynet.
Yeah.
I remember when this came out, they made a deal with Mattel to do arcade games and home video. They the Intellivision system, which I had, the video game system, they
Yeah,
did
me too.
several Tron games,
Oh, yeah.
Deadly Discs,
Yep.
and I think I had them all.
I still have some of the
Wow. Look how young he looks.
action figures and the light cycles.
Did you get any of the?
No, I
Toys?
remember those. They're cool because they were clear color.
What? Oh,
Some of the figures, yeah.
Some of the figures. They had the color on the inside.
Could the figures ride the light cycles?
Well, the light cycle was enclosed, so you would put them in. It was a seat, so
Okay.
it wasn't like a motorcycle positioning like the.
Wow, is that a map
actual-
painting?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a cubicle world.
Oh, look at that! I
absolute-
never
yeah.
noticed that before. Oh, we see it moving. Did you see that the camera was moving, and the map painting was not?
Yeah.
I guess it happens every now and then.
Can't hide the warts with the Blu-ray,
No.
unless you're George Lucas. The power of ILM.
He's just waiting at home for a new format to come out so he can just
So
re
again, reinvent it. Nice
Wow.
hair, Bruce.
The hair
Nice
and the glasses and the collar.
Oh,
It's like the 80s just crashed into the 70s.
So, do we want to talk about the inspiration behind the film? And
yeah.
the origin story?
Absolutely.
Does everybody know it?
Well, I know. Well, what I know,
Steven
Steven
Lisberger.
Lisberger. I mean, at the time, he was an animator working in Boston, and he had been doing commercials, and he was doing this backlit animation, and he was using something called codoliths, and he was trying to get people to notice his work, and slowly but surely, he moved his studio from Boston to, I believe, Venice, California. And he was pretty successful in doing. You can see a lot of his commercials on YouTube. A lot of radio stations used his commercials, and they looked very Tron-esque. But then he had the idea for Tron, and he was trying to sell it to studios.
I think the gaming aspect was inspired by Pong. He had, Pong had come out in probably like 1976.
Oh, actually, it was earlier than that.
Really?
72, 73.
When Pong came
yeah,
out,
Pong came out earlier, sure. Because by that time, like in the late set, you had like Odyssey was coming out, Atari in 77.
Right, but it's funny when you watch the games; they're very Pong-esque.
Yeah. Bruce Boxleitner kind of has the thankless role in this film. He's the
And he plays the title character.
yeah, but he's like the white bread good guy. You know, he's cool and everything, but he's not. Jeff Bridges steals the show. And this is is this like a nuclear power plant in California somewhere?
I have a factoid. This is the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory.
Okay.
Oh, I knew that.
You knew, well, why didn't you say
He
something?
didn't know it. He doesn't do his research.
Apparently, this is the only film to have been shot inside this lab.
It's a great location.
This
It's
is the guy
awesome.
from that show, Was it Wizard?
Oh, this is Barnard Hughes.
Yeah, that's
Isn't there some wizardy show.
I think it was Mr.
Marlin
Mr.
or Mar-
Mr. Merlin.
Yeah.
Mr. Merle. That's it.
Yeah, CBS.
Also, Lost Boys,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the grandfather.
the grandpa.
Right.
And
Now this
that's
woman is in every
Cindy
Think
convention.
about Santa Carla. Oh,
all
my
the
goddamn vampires.
Is this girl the
That's
one from
Cindy-
Caddyshack?
Cindy
That's
Morgan.
Cindy Morgan.
Lacey Underall herself. As a matter of fact, I think these are her only two big credits:
Well, those are
Caddyshack
the-
and Tron.
Those are the pictures she's always trying to get
Unfortunate.
people to sign to
Oh
buy
yeah,
from her.
yeah. She's made a career out of conventions.
Wish I could.
She's not in Tron Legacy, but they did a lot. They shot a lot, like videos of her and Boxleitner as ramp ups to Legacy,
Wow.
where they're married. Yeah, they're all on YouTube.
Really?
They might even be on the Blu-ray. Yeah, I've seen them. They have a scene where Boxleitner is introducing a new software product, and she's with him.
Oh yeah.
And they disrupt all the Flynn Lives people disrupt it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I might have seen that. So they basically created a transporter.
Just don't let a fly land on it.
When you put the spaghetti on the machine.
the spaghetti in the machine. Barnard Hughes is like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
As long as they pay me, I'll do anything you say.
Oh, gobbledygook.
This is Box Lightner pre-Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
Tell that to the Terminator.
Now, the person who championed Tron at Disney once Steven Lisberger brought it to Disney was Harrison Ellenshaw, who worked on Star Wars.
Wow. One of the things
jealous.
about
The
this
shot was
film
kinda
is
out of
that
focus.
Yeah.
it definitely has these slow periods.
Oh, yeah.
And it picks up and it gets slow. When it picks up, it's got these peaks.
I didn't like this movie when I saw it. I'll be honest. When I first saw it, I mean, I know I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, me too.
And it didn't grab me right away. It grew on me.
I remember liking it a
Yeah.
lot when I saw it. Yeah, I guess there was enough of the game stuff in it.
Well, this is the heyday for the arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Video game. It was a hangout place. I mean, I didn't know any arcades. Most of my video games were like pizza stores and candy shops. Candy stores.
I had a couple of full-blown arcades near my house where I lived.
Space Paranoids. That was the game that he invented, right?
Right. And it's funny how, like, the leftover pinball machines still stayed with the arcades as the video games.
They stuck around.
Pepsi can.
There you go.
That's some music by Journey in the background, who apparently was picked to provide
tube
some
socks.
songs. Yeah,
Listen,
look at
you
this
shouldn't
kid.
talk about those tube socks. You posted some pictures on Facebook, and you're wearing those
That's true.
tube
I was
socks.
young.
God.
So what? Oh, like you were a fashion plate.
What year did they stop putting the color on the tube socks?
I
I
don't
don't know. I
know.
used to love those socks.
Yeah,
man.
I used to wear.
It's like, I don't like the yellow ones. I like the red ones.
Hey, Rocky wore tube socks in Rocky 3.
Yo, where'd you at?
Now, I've made this comment before about Kevin Flynn, Bridges' portrayal of him in this film as opposed to Legacy, and he is like, it's not the same guy to
No.
me. I mean, he's like a wonder kid in this, kind of nerdy, but in Legacy, he's Jeff Lebowski.
He's the dude. He's a hippie.
Yeah, he's all zen and hippie.
Stonier.
He's more like Bridges the man in Legacy.
Look at the sweat stains on his shirt.
Yeah. Blu-ray and his Walkman. Oh, there's the recognizers. I didn't notice that before.
The neon sign, yeah.
Yeah.
And they recreated this whole thing for the sequel.
That's right.
Yeah.
This whole location.
Yeah, he's really sweating. Nice decor. Got the masks, the African masks, and
This is a move of his. He's like, I have to change my shirt now, folks. Hope you don't mind. If Sheridan wouldn't be here, I could really get some business done.
little love
Oh my
triangle action
God.
there. Jeez. He's going to keep his nipples exposed for just a little longer.
Oh, that's a comfortable couch.
Hacking. That's a term you didn't hear much, back in the day.
I don't even think you heard that in war games.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Awesome. We all had that except Carlos, because Carlos
Yes,
hated
if
sport.
it said football, I
Yeah,
was like,
any sport
not interested.
related, not interested.
Exposition, exposition, exposition.
Well, you gotta explain the plot.
It's funny. He's so old now that the CGI version of him kind of looks like him. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
all stretched out and his skin is very smooth. I thought it looked too CGI before. It's like, no, he actually did look like that.
I thought the first one when he's talking to the kid, I mean, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But they didn't go full on when he's talking to the
No, they
kid.
keep him in the shadows.
Yeah.
And they,
Yeah, his profile.
but it's kind of close. His eyes
Yeah.
are kind of squintier.
Yeah.
Wonder maybe he had surgery or something. I don't know.
I just love the fact that Bridges is a daring actor. He just jumped into this. You know, he loves being associated with it. You know, he was on board for the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, he basically got it done.
Oh yeah, they shot that Comic-Con trailer. That was not the
With his,
yeah.
Help. And it's funny because this is also around the time where digital clocks, digital wristwatches, were still kind of like the you press the button and the numbers come out red.
Yeah.
They were about to go to the liquid crystal.
Yes, I had the red and then I had the liquid crystal. I was a real nerd. So
and
still
we
am.
probably all had the calculator ones,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the Casios.
Like, that's a good idea. Why would I need a calculator that often? Unless I'm writing code or doing something scientific. So apparently the group Supertramp was supposed to provide some music, but that fell through, so they contacted Journey. So you can still kind
wow.
of hear the Journey music in the background.
I like Journey.
And then they also featured Journey in Tron Legacy as well.
Yeah, when
That's
he powers
right.
up, when he powers up the building.
Yeah.
Separate Worlds, I think is the song.
The jukebox is still playing Journey. Could he be wearing a more old man sweater? Now let's listen to the line, because the line, I think, gets repeated in the sequel.
Yeah, it does.
Wasn't this also in Terminator 3, this door?
I don't know.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So was your flannel shirt. Wow, those are big glasses. I wonder where they shot that. That's got to be the same door. It's the same line. He's got like curly hair almost.
Yeah.
What?
That doesn't sound good.
Uh-oh. It is Skynet.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So Flynn and they're there to just mess around?
No, well, Flynn is trying to find that hidden program or that hidden piece
That gives
of
him credit
information
for
in the
it.
memory that will go back to the original source code
Okay.
to prove that he wrote
He
it.
wrote, right,
Ah. Those glasses.
right. I think they're getting bigger on every change of shot.
Very lax security over at NCOM.
Well,
Look at those
you know,
computers.
cyber terrorism in 1980.
It hasn't
Two.
really.
What's funny is where he's hiding right now. That's probably the equivalent of 5 laptops.
Those look like washer dryers
Yeah.
down. Oh, look, Gort Klaatu Barada nicked it.
Nice.
There you go. End of line.
Boy, he's not in charge anymore.
Dillinger is the MCP's bitch.
I'm going to get me a hot toddy.
That is a great set. I mean, using that is a great idea.
Again, the beginning they give us so much so soon, and now there's this
It's
long
slow,
period of
right
this is
until
how
he
it should
gets-
start.
Right.
It should ramp up. Maybe they thought that people wouldn't hold their interest
wouldn't wait.
unless you give them something to chew on.
A little morsel at the beginning.
Yeah. Especially after they see a trailer for this film or a commercial, and I'm sure they packed it all with racing and crashing, and
Absolutely.
then you're sitting here for the first half hour going, "What the hell is
Oh,
this?"
something's gonna happen. Yeah, the pacing in this film is a little off.
Do we need all this climbing and up and
yeah,
down?
Yeah, it could be much tighter. You could probably knock out almost 10 minutes.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing.
You know, even more than the films, these earlier films where, you know, they would ask a computer a question and then they'd get an answer. The films in like the early 90s where the computers could just do absolutely everything and the interfaces were completely ridiculous, like Disclosure or one of those movies.
Right, with all the virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. Lawnmower.
Lawnmower Man and
Yeah.
all that crap.
I think that's the thing. Once you introduce Windows, you really can't cheat.
Right.
It's Windows. It's an interface that everybody recognizes. I mean, some of the stuff might be real, but it's just,
Now, this is odd looking. The laser, they got the little,
like the heat sensor.
in the middle, and then it looks like just like a still frame.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's the effect they decided to use. This looks very Disney-ish.
Yes.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Cool kaleidoscope, man.
Yeah, seriously. I can see a lot of people getting baked in this movie.
Kaleidoscope eyes.
No judgments if anybody's smoking any weed during this.
During the making of this movie or the making of this commentary. Meanwhile, on 2001,
Yeah, this is very.
You know, it's funny. Before you were talking about the, excuse me, the state of Disney's animation team at the time, they Lisberger and the whole gang approached the Disney animation team to say, "Hey, do you guys want to work on this with us? You can help us." They were essentially shunned because this was so outside of their comfort
experience,
zone,
yeah.
and they really viewed it as a threat. They wanted no part of it, so none of them participated.
jeez.
But there was one person who, while he didn't directly work on the film, was somewhat inspired by the film, and that was John Lasseter.
That's right. Who has actually said, without Tron, there is no Pixar,
Absolutely.
and no Toy Story, none of it. Ouch.
Wow, that stick is getting lost in the mat.
Now this is
Well, look at
this
that.
is Flynn. This is not Clue. Clue was de-resed, right?
Yes, that's
Right.
Flynn.
Right. It's bizarre because it's almost like the film stock is not just black and white. It's like super old style black and white. It almost has this flickering texture to it that like even the image doesn't stay still. It's
well,
like
that's part when they
Well, that's
combine
layers
when they
upon layers
when they
upon
combine
layers.
the black and white film with all these other elements that were rotoscoped.
they can't stay still.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know there will be times when you see the film glitch, and they just add an audio effect to make it seem like it belongs.
What I'm also thinking is that I have a feeling the makeup they used was specially made for black and white film.
Probably.
Like they're, he's got mascara on
Right.
to pop the eyes.
Yes, yes.
And his flesh is very pale. I have a feeling that they purposely made him up that way. So that's the equivalent of Dillinger,
Yeah,
his avatar.
his avatar. Right, his avatar. Part of me wishes that, I mean, obviously Legacy was going to use all the state-of-the-art technology that was available to them, but I was a little disappointed that they didn't try to retro, have the texture of some, okay, maybe not the whole world, but something that recalled
Leave
the
some old
original.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, the only old thing they
make
had-
it seem like that's the old part of the system, and now we're in the
Yeah.
new part. Just for a little continuity. I mean, I understand.
I think the only old thing they had was the old white motorcycle, which is the style of these old ones. But
You mean the light cycle?
The light cycles,
Yeah.
but you barely see it.
Well, the recognizers too, right?
Well, no, but even the recognizers are newer. They're different
Yeah.
shapes,
Yeah,
more modern. Well, modern.
whatever. I think it's also very important to mention the contributions of Sid Mead and Mobius. Sid Mead, the
Yes.
visual futurist who the same year worked on Blade Runner and did such an amazing job on the landscape of Blade Runner. He designed several, I believe he designed the Solar Sailor. No, maybe that was Mobius. I don't want to get in trouble, but I know he designed probably the tanks and maybe the recognizers.
Wow.
And Mobius, who is an incredible, again, an artist, futurist, who designed the clothing, the uniforms. That's all him. In a sense, Mobius is kind of to this film what Giger was to Alien.
Oh wow, I've heard that name.
Yeah.
I've heard that name a couple of times.
He's French, and he's done a lot of stuff over there. and he's actually done comic books. He's done some Marvel comics, amongst many other things.
Wow.
But the look of the world is very much a collaboration between all these different people, between Lisberger and some of the Disney people, and like I said, Sid Mead and Mobius. An identity frisbee.
Which looks a lot like a frisbee. Wow, look at the scar on that guy's chin.
Yeah, you can
You see who that is standing next to him?
On the right or on the left?
On his left. I think it's Michael Dudikoff. Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why has he had a little bit roll?
This is his first role.
Michael Dudikoff. Wasn't he like American Ninja and all that stuff?
American Ninja 2 is awesome with Steve James.
Steve James.
Look at that. That's
Sorely
him, yeah.
missed. Steve James. There's Bruce.
And Michael Dudikoff was in Bachelor Party.
Who was he? Was he one of the guys?
He was the guy who's the waiter.
Oh.
The guy's he can't read the word Parmesan on the menu. Chicken parmesan. Oh, whoops!
Boxleitner got really good with this.
Now, I wonder, is that a light or an animated reflection?
Is what a light?
You
mean the effect?
The effect of him holding the disc near his face. It projects light on him. But I'm not sure if it's fake or real. This brought to you by Allstate.
So that laser cannon just like took him apart molecule by molecule and reintegrated him in the computer system.
Right. It turned them into a file or a program, I
Right.
guess. But who knows who he is? He happens to know who he is.
Right. Highlight, sport of the future. Do they even play highlight anywhere anymore?
Sure. They used to on Miami Vice.
Yeah, I think it's big in Florida.
The opening credits. Is it even an Olympic sport?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
It's great sound effects.
Yeah.
Apparently, the sound design was done by the guy who did Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh. Is that Peter Jurassic still?
Yeah. Haven't really seen him after Babylon 5.
He teaches. He teaches at a college somewhere in
Really?
North Carolina.
Holy
Yeah, I got his
crap.
autograph. I sent it to his office, and
He teaches what, acting?
yeah, drama, theater, whatever.
God.
Yeah. He does conventions too. Not as many as when Babylon 5 was big, but
That's amazing.
yeah. A little overacting there, Jeff. Look at that. So, do we know if this was shot on black and white stock?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can remember, in earlier like video incarnations and Laserdisc, it just didn't look, because of all the layers, it didn't look so great.
Yeah, I noticed there's a big difference here.
Yeah.
Now, granted, part of it might be because we were watching DVDs on a high-def set, which makes everything look like crap. But this looks different. It's pretty. It's pretty, you know?
And the colors pop.
Now, there's going to be a shot a little later, and hopefully I can point it out, where you get to see a hidden Mickey.
Really?
Yep. And for those of you who don't know what that is when on Disney properties they hide the image of Mickey Mouse on somewhere.
There's also a Pac-Man. I
Oh.
should be able to recognize it.
Now, this is the
This
classic Tron.
This is amazing.
I mean,
This is what everybody thinks of when they think of the movie.
So apparently, the color associations have changed throughout the film. Because here you have, in the beginning, you would think that blue is good and red is evil, but here
Right.
they're in different colored vehicles, and I think
Yeah.
at some point throughout the film they change that up. So you might have yellow, you might have a red and a blue.
Didn't they do something similar in Legacy with the colors?
well, they stick to the
When
bad
you
guys
find
are
out-
usually the reds and the oranges, and the good guys, if you will, are usually the blues and the greens.
Well, when they do the reveal of Tron in Legacy,
yeah,
doesn't
there's
he
something
change
about him
color?
changing back to blue. He goes
Yeah.
from red to
Right.
blue as
when he
he's
says,
going
"I
underwater.
fight for the users,"
Right.
and you find out it's Tron.
So we're basically playing kind of like Tetris here, right?
Seriously.
And this used to be a cool video game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this was awesome.
I didn't like the rest of them, but I liked this one.
This
it
one
was
was really
hard. It was a
good.
difficult game. Plus, it's not really a good guy, bad guy game. You're fighting contestants, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Nice move.
And basically, all these vehicles take the shape from the video games. That
This
he
Pac-Man
invented.
on the
There it
right.
is.
Yeah, look at that. And even the little things are there.
Awesome.
How did they do that?
That was great. This was 1982. Pac-Man was all
Was
the
that,
rage.
Namco.
Yeah,
Pac-Man?
Namco. I got Pac-Man on my phone.
Awesome. How funny is that? Yeah, I could play that on my phone.
I know, right? I'm playing all the old arcade games
looks
on
just
my
as
phone.
good.
It does. It looks amazing. Now, what's your favorite? Both of you guys. What do you do? You like the recognizers, the light cycles? What's your favorite piece of Tron?
I like the
Tech.
motorcycle, the
Yeah,
light
I like the
cycles.
light
Yeah.
cycles. Yeah.
They're
They're
so
so
cool.
cool.
And just
Yeah,
when you
they're-
see them getting into them, the fact that they become almost part
Part
of
of
the
them?
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Now, granted, what they've done in the sequel is amazing.
Yes.
And they have such other cool. And even these guys show up in the background.
Yeah.
The tanks show up way in the background. The recognizer's there, but it's a more modern one.
Right.
The motorcycles are updated also.
I wish I could have been in the audience for Comic-Con when they showed
Oh.
this teaser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the Legacy teaser.
Yeah.
The first time I saw the Legacy teaser was somebody had camcorded it at
Mm-hmm.
Comic-Con, threw it up on YouTube. So you got the audience reaction, with seeing the teaser.
And it's funny because the teaser is still not as good CGI-wise as the final product.
Right.
But it was great anyway. The fact that you got to see Jeff Bridges, that was the kicker.
And it was Tron 2 with the 2 in the title, like TR2N.
Yeah.
For a while, they were calling it Tron 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
I never remember these being green. For some reason, I always picture them black and red.
Now, you said you knew where Mickey was?
Yeah, it's not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's later.
That didn't sound like David Warner. Oh,
Do we know anything about the music outside of Journey?
It's a classical score. It's really typical
I don't know
Disney.
who-
I
I don't
think.
know who composed it.
Wendy Carlos,
Yeah,
electronic
it's-
music pioneer.
Very synthy.
but it's also very classic-y too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like Daft Punk.
Oh, Daft Punk. That's
who were
amazing.
also heavily influenced by this film. Apparently,
Yes.
there
You
was a
mean
personal
their
connection
music?
to the
Really?
film.
Their look.
Yeah, it wasn't
Oh, I
just a
didn't know.
blind.
Their persona.
Yeah,
That soundtrack is amazing.
it's phenomenal.
I think that, we've touched on this before. I'd say like, not a half, but like a third of the enjoyment of Legacy is the soundtrack.
Yes. I can't say the same for this film.
No. Well, this film has its other charms, not the soundtrack.
Now, this is something that they did not touch upon in the sequel.
The
but
nourishment.
you could kind of say that maybe this is how you can save the Tron character for future films. Rinsler becomes Tron and dies, and as he's falling in the water, he's changing to the blue color,
Right.
Because he's got this water in him, and it's reviving him.
And this had to be the first time when you talk about movies now, like the Star Wars prequels and movies like 300, where they're acting against nothing. And this is really the first time where you have actors
Yeah.
really being forced to use their imaginations,
Right.
With very minimal
backgrounds, looking at absolutely nothing, being
I mean, the
not being
closest
able to
thing-
even visualize what
The
they're
closest
seeing.
thing to this would have been your typical Disney live action / cartoon,
like Song
film.
of the South,
Right.
Something, yeah.
This is it's kind of like that
Yeah.
in a way.
but on a much higher level.
It's like, okay, well, pretend you're acting with cartoon characters.
Yeah. Look at this tennis ball and have a conversation with it.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Excellent
Remember
point.
that?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that
excellent
movie in a
point.
long
Right.
time.
That was
That was
groundbreaking because it was
amazing.
more of it was almost like a 3-dimensional experience.
And they're
Yeah.
and they at the level that they were interacting, grabbing
Yes.
things,
Mm-hmm.
and,
shadows and
that
foregrounds.
was
and-
incredible.
yeah. That's
Now that was
definitely-
Disney back. That was actually that was 88. That was pre Little
But,
Mermaid.
but that's a step. That's like a milestone step in animation.
I think the next film after Tron to go the CGI route was probably The Last Starfighter. That came out in 84.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking anything in between.
to use
To use
it that much
Heavily?
of it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And you talk about the quantum leaps. I mean, I believe Last Starfighter looks pretty good for its time. And then you get into the 90s with T2 and all that.
Well,
Cameron
the
stuff.
90s. Then you have your morphing technology and your
Right.
full blown CGI effects, where you're not dealing with a CGI environment alone. You're combining CGI and live action
Right.
together. That's the next step, because Last Starfighter had a lot of like this
Right.
full blown animated looking CGI
Right, with no
scenery.
interaction.
No
with live
interaction.
action.
It's like, meanwhile, in another movie, cut to
Yes.
close up of actor talking.
Right. Is this where the end of Ram?
Well, that looked weird.
Well, what's great about this is the way that everything is framed. You really feel like you're there with them. You know what I mean? As opposed to just observing something that's happening. Like when they were in between those two, they were in that little alleyway, or even these shots here. I feel like I'm kind of there,
Right, you're
involved
right.
with
Yeah,
the experience.
you're right.
It's
Yeah.
Like I
almost
can
like
imagine me being in there with them.
It's almost like, okay, I have storyboards, now create this.
Right.
And they create it. Now, this is real, obviously. This is a real set.
Yes.
It's a black set with white
With
highlights.
backlit.
And then they color it just like
Yeah.
they colored him and everybody else. And it looks cool.
Now, what's also interesting was the original idea was to shoot it all against a white background. And I know the quote from whoever, maybe it was the DP or whoever, was there just weren't enough lights in Hollywood to make it that white. So they went black.
Jeez.
It really does look like a silent movie, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the makeup,
Yes.
Carlos
the
was
makeup.
right. Yeah.
It's like an old Buster Keaton thing.
Yeah, and when they're not speaking, it
You remember
really
the
does.
makeup of the old stuff with the eyes pop. And
Oh,
the-
yeah.
and the face are very
The
pasty.
the men had lipstick on.
The shadows that are created are really weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're exaggerated almost.
And at the time, home video, obviously, in the early '80s was pretty big, but Disney was still at a point where it was taking them
That's cool.
where they were taking years to put stuff out. So I if I'm correct, I don't think Tron actually came out on home video until like 85, 86.
Jeez.
And then typical Disney, they would let it go out of print and come back into print.
Create your own demand.
Exactly. They really are
The
experts.
vault.
I really hate that about them.
It's annoying.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I want to get Beauty and the Beast. Oh, I got to spend $40 on eBay for
Right.
it,
Well, do you want the platinum edition or the titanium edition
Or the hologram.
Oh yeah, they just released.
I want the adamantium edition.
That's when the animators come to your house and perform a 2-act play in
Right.
front of you.
Right.
Give you some cells.
We're going to draw it for you right here. Oh, boy.
Now I'm sitting here with 2 Disney files. Is there anything in the parks now relating to Tron, or
Well,
was there when
not
Legacy?
prior to Legacy, but when they started promoting Legacy, they wrapped the monorails.
The monorail, yeah.
To look like big light cycles.
Wow.
And I think they created some exclusive toys like pins and
Yeah.
some like Mickey action figures or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they actually carried the Tron line of toys at Disney. They should have, because it's Disney.
No, why wouldn't they?
Because the Disney stores carry them here.
I just would have thought it would they would have tried to work it into a ride or something.
No, I mean, it would have been great.
How cool would that have been? You know.
Very cool.
I have a feeling if they go for another film, that might be enough to push them to do something permanent.
I don't see why
Add a
not. I
little
think it's a
something
great
somewhere.
idea.
Heck, if they're going to do something with Avatar.
Seriously.
I know, and they're not even a Disney property.
Right. I really hope they get to do a third film. I mean, this film made. Legacy made like 170 million domestic.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all for a sequel. Almost 30 years later to a movie that was a bomb.
Oh, I would say it's going to happen.
Not only a sequel, but we talked about this in an earlier episode when we actually reviewed it. A sequel that they downplayed the original. They didn't want to link it too much.
Prior, yeah.
Right. They wanted a little bit of buzz, but they really didn't want people to come and look for this movie.
It almost
Right.
didn't seem like they were playing to our demographic,
No.
our generation.
After the sequel came out, then they put this out on Blu-ray
With the original,
because they
yeah.
they realized they had a hit, so it was great. We're not embarrassed of this anymore.
Right. And I don't see why you'd be embarrassed by this. This is a groundbreaking film. This is like Count Dooku's ship at the end of
Yeah.
Attack of
Yes.
the Clones.
Well, he has a solar safe.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey. Very perky.
Well, she was in
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, so there you go.
You know, it's funny. Some of the press stills for this film, I mean, some of the costumes that they didn't use. Oh, my God.
I didn't recognize you with that silly hat. Oh wait, I'm wearing one too.
And those, where are your glasses?
How could you see without the gigantic glasses? Well, I have my manicure at 8. Then I have to go. Oh, wait a minute. I got an idea.
It's
Bit?
Does anybody remember Automan?
Yes,
Oh,
I do.
yes.
Remember he had a thing like that too?
Cursor.
Oh, my God.
Who played Automan? That was the question.
Some blonde bimbo male.
It wasn't.
It wasn't Rex Smith.
It wasn't.
No, that was
Simon
Streethawk.
McCorkadale was Manimal.
Animal.
Manimal.
It was some other dude like that.
Yeah. I think not Streethawk. Automan might be coming out on DVD or is out on DVD.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow.
Which was a knockoff of this.
Yeah.
It had
So
like
this
a
had
car
some-
that could make
Yeah.
90-degree
Yeah.
turns.
Right. So you know, I mean, if they were going to ape this, that had to mean at that time there was a certain popularity.
Right, but and again, we talked about this. They aped it for television.
God.
What the hell are we
Gee.
watching now?
Yeah, here we get some
Wow.
really wacky. This is some Mobius stuff.
like,
It's
here.
like a digital turd.
We're on Coruscant.
like one of Natalie Portman's outfits.
What was that?
Whoa.
What I was saying before is that they did somewhat of a copy for television, but film-wise, nobody ever redid this.
Right.
This style, at least. I mean, and nowadays there are films that are groundbreaking in the technology, like 300, and whether or not it's a success, they continue to do those type of films.
Yeah, look at the Spirit.
Yeah, the
I
Spirit.
mean, that was a bomb, but
and
it was
there's
just
a
like
couple
300.
of there's a couple of new ones coming out. Immortals, I think. It's that style.
Yeah,
of-
Immortals. Yeah,
It's that Sin City looking stuff. But this was never copied. I guess it was just too expensive.
Well, I mean, this was at the time. The best that you could call it was an ambitious failure.
Ooh. That's cool. Oh.
That's cool.
Ow. Not much left. All right, we're here. And on the on Legacy, that little thing is sitting on his dining room fireplace.
What little
mantle.
thing?
That little floaty thing.
In
Bit?
Kevin Flynn.
Bit, but it's not an animated one.
Right.
What the
Hello,
hell are
sailor.
Hello, ladies. Clue actually looks at it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he makes a face like he
like, picks
recognizes
it
it.
up.
I think it's a hidden.
Now, in Legacy, is Clue? No, he's not the same. Clue.
He's
Clue
not.
got derez.
Right? No,
Yeah,
no.
that's
It's not the same clue.
right. It took me at least 3 viewings to fully grasp the plot of Legacy. I'm sorry if that makes me sound stupid, but the first time I saw it, I was just overwhelmed by the visuals, but I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, hit him again. Hit him again. Hit him again. Uh-oh. You broke him. Now what do you do?
He's been a bad boy. What was cool about the Light Cycle toys is that they had like a pull cord,
Oh, the rip pull.
the rip pull, so you could just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
And it had pretty wide wheels. It had a wide wheel in the back, so
So it would stay up.
it would go quite a distance.
That's animation.
That's animation. There are a couple of moments in the film that make me think Disney. Not too many, but yeah, I think the MCP, the animation of the way he's presented, makes me think
Yes.
Disney.
So I think those other chicks we saw before were like the early version of internet porn.
Nice.
I should write an essay on that.
You know, yeah, you should. Only you could bring us down to that level.
Oh, he always does.
Fine.
You know.
Never mind. I can't comment on that shot.
So shockingly, this film was not nominated for Best Special Effects.
Yeah, seriously.
And the thinking at the time was that because they used computer animation, that they cheated. They cheated.
Oh my god!
But it just goes to show like how
Oh, wow.
new it was, and people really didn't know
Yeah.
what it was all about. They were so locked into the old way of doing things.
1982.
It probably was like Star Trek 2,
It's Wrath of Khan, probably.
because that was ILM.
ILM used to clean house.
Oh yeah.
It was nominated for a couple of Oscars, I think. Costume design
Wow.
Look at.
and sound.
That's how I edit the podcasts.
This is how I envision you at work.
I have a device like that.
No, but this is you sitting at work looking very happy.
I'm not going to make any comments on the hat. Okay? Because you guys don't like it when I make those kind of comments.
That's like Jabba the Hutt.
You're gonna say it's phallic,
It's a Pope hat.
a Pope hat.
Or
Very
it's the
papal.
other thing. Let's stick with the Pope hat.
I would love to have seen Barnard Hughes on the set this day.
You want me to
Let's
do
put
what?
this spaghetti in the machine.
Come on, let's shoot this thing.
How much am I getting paid?
Let's shoot this effer.
Give me the goddamn hat.
How do I go to the bathroom in this thing? I can't get the craft services table. I can see them leave in a minute.
She's got very 70s hips.
Easy.
Good birthing hips.
Oh, hey. I am the keymaster.
I am Vince. Vince Clortho.
Keymaster of Gozer. And what's funny is that, we're seeing this unfold over like the last 40 minutes, but in the real world, it's somebody sitting at a computer and he's writing a program to allow him to get in.
Right.
So that Alan can release the Tron program.
Right.
It happens probably within,
Right, the whole
a few minutes.
Yeah. It's funny you
The
bring
last
that
hour
up,
of the
Steve, 'cause
film, yeah.
I'm not thinking about that, but yeah, that's what they're sitting there typing
Right,
to get all
right.
the, like that guy was like the firewall.
Yeah.
See, with the Blu-ray, you should be able to watch the movie from the other point of view.
Right,
So
in
it's
real
like
time.
See, like Bruce Boxlight,
right.
man.
It's 30 minutes of setup and then 5 minutes of decoding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the movie's over.
Trippy.
Very.
I guess he's like putting the quarter in the slot. Is that what this is supposed to
He's
signify?
putting the spaghetti in the machine. Well, didn't they do something similar in Legacy?
Yes. That's how they get out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how they get in
At
and
the
out.
end.
Yeah.
Down the line, we should do a commentary of the Legacy.
Look, it's
Look at that
blue.
turning blue.
Yeah.
Looks like the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah. All right, I heard you. Don't scream.
Nice.
Are we supposed to believe that that's what Alan is saying right now?
If you will follow this trench along this corridor, you will reach the exhaust ports. Oh wait,
It's
wrong
approximately
movie.
2 meters wide.
We can't hit that.
Can't hit
meters.
that.
It's like
That's
New Womp
impossible.
Rats back home.
Even
Used
for
to
a
bullseye
computer.
womp rats in my T16 back home. They're not bigger than more than 2
2
meters.
meters.
Oh, now you use meters? Uh-oh. Bad guys. Use your big head.
It's fun. Steve, now that you mention the sound effects from Star Trek The Motion Picture, what I just heard was the exact sound effect of V'ger at the end of the
Yeah.
motion picture. When
Yeah.
when he's like, when V'ger is starting to like get pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the sound effect.
Vija. The creator.
Voyager 6.
Uh-oh.
Busted.
Ooh, he's angry.
How are you going to take him?
He's turning orange.
Yeah, really. Where are you going to put him?
They're going to steal his hat. All right, now, it's coming up soon when the solar sailor goes through the wastelands, I guess. You're going to see a hidden Mickey on the ground.
Okay.
I'll try to make a very rude, obnoxious noise when it happens.
Okay, well, that wouldn't be the first time.
Like Obi-Wan's dragon call. The heck was that?
Yeah, whatever. Just go. Kanduku. Uh-oh. Guy with stick.
There you go.
They kind of look like they're wearing sweaters.
Yeah.
Those guys, don't they?
Oh,
Whoa.
it's... Wait, is that... Was that Bridges?
Huh? Yeah. It looked like...
Because he didn't realize it was
Bridges.
him?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, look at that outfit. Looks foamy.
Uh-oh. Beep, 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 boop, boop. It's like
Yeah,
Tomorrowland at Disney.
I was gonna say this soundtrack isn't gonna blow the doors off of anything.
It's just like Star Wars, except different.
Whoa.
Light speed. Okay, let's see. And
I would even go so far as to say this soundtrack sucks.
yes,
Wow.
I really dislike it. It's classic old Disney.
No offense,
You know what?
Wendy Carlos.
You know what? Daft Punk should rescore this. I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear that. I bet you
Wow.
they would do
And
it.
while they're there,
offensive.
shave off like 40 minutes off of the
Off the
of the
film.
film, turn it into a 1-hour feature.
A pocket calculator.
Okay, now I'm at work.
This is Carlos. And can you sway back this far without falling?
Yes. What do you think? I have
a
knee
neat
surgery, so my knees could do that.
See, that looks like Disney.
It looks like a giant baby head. Okay, get ready. Here comes
I
Mickey.
don't want to miss it.
Hey,
All this
dude.
build up.
Yeah, you just knocked me over, eh?
They look like they're gonna make out.
Oh, he's absorbing his essence. They're trying to steal my essence.
Essence of Emerald.
I punched him in the head.
I'm getting impatient for this Mickey.
I know. It's gonna be disappointing. Don't worry.
Would it be something?
Here-
If we
there it is.
Oh, there it is, right
wow.
there.
Oh, that was cool.
That was gigantic.
All right, that was
It was
cool.
big smiley Mickey.
All right.
Good. Can I go now?
I was gonna say that.
Can we wrap
your-
this up?
Your contribution has been noted.
All right, so Cindy Morgan or Olivia Wilde, both in their heydays.
Well, I don't know. Olivia Wilde. Wow.
Even the sequel had a scene like this, where
Yeah.
they get to rest and
Yep.
and go for a little joyride.
Now I feel like I'm watching a commercial for Omni magazine or something.
I feel like I'm watching the animatics for Legacy. It's not full res.
Bit brain.
Oh, that was so unnecessary.
Trim your eyebrows. Yeah, it's getting trippy. That is so Disney.
Wow.
Yeah.
That kind of takes me out of the movie right
Pop, pop,
there.
pop, 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 pop. I got more.
I feel like I'm watching Fantasia.
Where are
Or
the
it's like
dragons?
The Wall.
Yes.
What is that about? Grabbing the balls? Uh-oh.
Oh, they
They took
took
his
him out of
hat.
his little puffball.
I guess that's an insult.
Mm-hmm.
Is it speeding up every time it hits the ball or something? Nanoseconds.
Nanosecond, see?
now it's reminding me of Legacy, where it's like the pace is getting leaden. It's like
Somebody start fighting.
hey, do something. I guess this is where if you start burning one, it makes up for it.
Right. It's right. It's that the trip zone. I just want something cool to look at for like 20 minutes, man.
It's like you should get like a little cursor, blaze up now.
Or a little icon pops up.
Whenever you
No,
see
no,
this
you know,
color-
like those intrusive promos. Lower third with the people that popped up.
Yep.
Like The Bachelorette or Dance with the Stars. You have a little thing of Palmer from the thing. He pops up.
passing it to you.
Nice. Oh boy, what's that?
We're here. It's the Rainbow Land.
The issue is that you don't know how far you have to go. So every time they get to a new spot, you think, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is it.
Exactly.
Oh, no, it was just a tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Mommy.
Let's see if there are any more hidden anythings.
That was cool, that Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all those moisture evaporators.
Do you speak bocce?
This could be Beggar's Canyon.
It looks like animatics.
It does. It really does.
Oh, uh-oh. They're onto them.
Again, just like the other one, they did the same thing with the giant ship chasing them, and
Yep.
all of a sudden it's on
This
top
is like
of us.
this is the same as the end of Legacy.
I guess they
I-
wanted to give you the same highlights. So
Right.
there's the nice motorcycle thing, they did it.
Yup.
There's the big flying ship chasing another flying ship thing.
Mm-hmm.
But much shorter.
Yeah. Oh. And then you have the jet fighters, which is cool, which you hadn't seen before.
That was great.
Yeah.
And I like the fight in the bar too.
Yeah, I like the fight too.
With Zeus. Right? Is that his name?
Yeah, with those
Yeah.
with the flying guys.
Mm-hmm. The toys from Legacy are really, really...
Oh, very modern.
Cool.
Very modern.
Jack has the little flying vehicles and
The jets.
and the big one.
Yeah. I got a couple of die-cast vehicles.
Whoa. Where's Tron?
Yeah, where is Tron?
They had to use a lot of light to make sure the black and white stock comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell because if it gets a little dark, they start to kind of fade. What the? Mm.
Who were those other people?
Are those Sark's people?
But they're blue.
Oh, the programs they're getting rid of?
Yeah,
or
they're
something?
gonna put them in the games. Well, they're like him. Yeah, they're gonna kill
A
him.
whole bunch of old guys, old programs.
Old programs are getting derezzed. Going to see Sauron. Where's the eye?
Gonna go throw the ring.
What is that?
Isn't that the core of the,
The
Death Star 2?
Where's Lando? You take the power regulator on the North Tower.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh,
there you
that's
go.
the
They're there.
MCP.
See?
Yeah, that's the MCP.
Giant spinny baby.
Creepy baby. Now, what is that supposed to be?
Well, he said when they reach there, they're going to derez the ship.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Kiss me, you fool.
I need your cool hat.
Yeah, she got big hips.
I told you that. But when I say it, you perv. Come on.
I said it matter of factly.
Yeah. Oh.
Tron is the man with those frisbees.
They're going to throw all the old people in the volcano.
It's like Logan's Run.
Save us. See you later. Bye-bye. See you later. See you later. Whoa. Oh, it's like a spinny thing. It's like those carnival
it's like
rides.
How come he's got a
Gravitron.
skeleton? How come he's got a skeleton?
Because the Emperor zapped him with his death force rays.
His
You
force,
could see right through his helmet.
blue force rays.
Oh, giant baby head.
Big nostrils. Why does he even have a face?
Who?
The MCP. Well, just,
Because it's Disney?
I guess.
That's creepy.
Yeah, see? You shouldn't have a skeleton.
Clink.
Whoa.
There we go.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
That was a bit extreme. What is this rated?
Ugh.
Ugh, some juice came out of his head.
It's computer juice.
It's like kaleidoscopy.
Wow, look at that. Snarky big baby, pick up your brain and get up here.
Doesn't he grow in
Yeah.
Yeah,
size?
he's like gigantic now or something ridiculous.
It's like Time Bandits.
Yes, very much so.
Look at those eyes. How come he got nailed in the head and what did the MCP make him all big?
I guess.
He said all of my powers are now yours, or something to that effect.
Did you ever see the guy on the internet who wears the Tron
Yes.
outfit? He's like way overweight, the skin tight Tron outfit. He's got the hat.
It's like the Star Wars lightsaber kid.
Yes. It's like, what if you or I put the Tron outfit on?
What do you mean if?
I think you should be Tron for Halloween.
I could be the thing in the middle, the big spinny thing.
The MCP?
That's me right there. I could get a costume like that.
I think I'm sticking with McCready. Or Childs.
But it
gonna
has
be
to be
Childs?
when he comes back in from the frozen part. You got to cover yourself in white dust.
Get a skull cap.
What is
Yeah, now this is the
what?
the heart of the MCP. Is that it?
That's a different old guy.
It looks like an old accountant. In like 1920s
Hey, where'd he go?
Manhattan.
Oh well, I guess that's done.
So if they bring back Dillinger in the third one, does that mean they'll bring back the MCP somehow?
I'm pretty sure they would. Granted, the sequel has nothing to do with an MCP bad guy,
Right.
but in the bonus material that we saw, they kind of referenced the MCP and Dillinger himself. Like,
I have no doubt that David Warner would do the third film. I mean, he pretty much does anything for a paycheck. He's a great actor, but
he's getting old.
yeah, but they could do it. And Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, he was. I love the fact that he had the cameo.
You know what? I gotta admit that just went right over my head.
Yeah,
when
I'm
that.
like, that guy looks very familiar.
I had no idea.
What, that was
Just
Cillian
Cillian Murphy. I was just so completely not paying attention.
What?
Oh, blue.
Hmm. 3 minutes later.
Yeah, this could have been a 35-minute film.
Well, that should be like a special edition extra.
Right.
You know, Tron from the other point of
You
view.
can
you
view
go.
it that way. That's what I was saying.
I'd watch that.
Bruce Box
Only 3 minutes.
typing,
Right. Very interesting.
and now he gets reintegrated. Now, why does he get reintegrated?
Because he jumped into the,
beam to get back.
main
Ah,
beam.
yeah.
And there's his proof. His see, annexed
Yep.
by Dillinger.
Printers.
I'm sure he could have just typed that out.
Written by K. Flint.
End of line.
Like anybody could not forge that piece
Yeah,
of
how the
paper.
hell do you prove that that's authentic?
But that's apparently the proof.
Yeah. Maybe it's the code that's on it.
Right. Doesn't this guy go home?
I guess not.
Oh, it's the next morning.
Right.
It's dawn. Whoops.
It's bad for him, but at least he doesn't have that computer telling him what to do.
Yeah,
anymore.
Right.
exactly.
You should be happy.
Smacking him around.
Mm-hmm.
And this has a very abrupt ending.
Nice sweater.
Yay.
Sorry. Yeah, this is a very abrupt ending.
It's like, oh my God, we gotta go, bye.
Yeah, see ya. Like, you couldn't have paced the movie a little better and given us a little bit more of an ending? Yeah, it's like, okay, over.
Well, they had something very unique, and they just kind of couldn't wait to get to it, which is why you see it in the beginning, and
Right.
then they, really got involved
See,
with that,
this doesn't tell you what
that whole
I mean,
ending, with
Yeah.
it's a rushed ending.
It is
the
rushed. It's kind of
Solar Sailor and all that stuff. It's like, wow, look how cool it looks, and that's great. And put yourself back in 1982, sitting there watching it, you're probably, not as impatient as we are today with our ever decreasing attention span.
that's for sure.
I guess these fonts are supposed to look like computer.
Of course. Yeah, like War Gamesy, right, Steve?
Yeah.
You said before. Well, I have to say, I my admiration for the film has increased over the years, but I still don't quite love it.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
I would agree with that.
I'm not. I do enjoy it very much, but the pacing kills it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't watch this film. I sit through this film.
Right. It's like
And
the
it's-
idea of it is
more
more appealing than
and
the
I'm waiting for the
actual
next
act of
action
watching it.
sequence to come out so I can look at these cool bikes.
And
it's
it,
like,
and it feels 20 minutes longer than it actually is.
Yeah.
A lot of music, London Philharmonic.
look at
Jesus.
this.
Ugh. Seriously?
for really bad music, a lot of people worked on it.
Yeah, and this didn't do any favors to Disney back in '82. Oh, there you go. 1990s theme.
What? What is 1990s theme? Another Journey song?
I guess.
Maybe they wrote it just for this. Who knows?
I don't know.
I never heard of them.
Jeez.
Yeah, same Mobius.
Well, the box office pretty much doubled the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about it in those terms,
It was successful.
it was successful. Yeah.
Well, most films, especially when you throw in the international take,
Yeah.
they
They're
make their
hits.
money.
Yeah,
they at least break
call 'em
even.
a hit.
Visual effects concepts by, right? So it was the director himself.
I thought it was interesting. For many years, the assumption was that Steven Lisberger would direct Legacy, but then he just fell. I mean, he was still heavily involved in the project, but he didn't direct
I believe he has a cameo in it.
in Legacy.
I think he's the bartender.
Oh, okay.
And once again, even Disney, after doing this, they did not continue with this style. They okay, next.
Next.
For our next live action feature, we're going to do a live action feature. It's not.
We're gonna do Condor Man.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you.
I had some kid try to tell me that
Whoa.
Condor Man was better than Raiders of the
are we
Lost
watching
Ark.
The Matrix now, guys?
You mean when you were a kid at the time?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are all the
Japanese
guys who worked
subtitles?
on it.
That was-
I mean, it's Japanese credits.
No, they had Japan or China.
But I've never seen it on a credit list,
Yeah.
on a credit roll.
You've obviously never watched a Godzilla movie.
Is this movie over yet?
Almost.
I'm done with you, okay? I don't want to sit next to you anymore.
End of line to Steve.
End of
End of
line
line.
to you. Talk to the Tron, okay?
Yeah, I mean, the live action stuff that Disney was doing at this time was the pits.
Wow.
Dan Shore, he's been making the rounds at conventions.
Where's that guy? Oh, there is Dudikoff.
Dudikoff, awesome. I like Journey. I don't have a problem with Journey.
Atari Corporation.
Atari.
Apple Computers.
Apple.
Super Panavision.
Jesus. This was one of the first. I remember this was they did a Laserdisc special edition box set of this, which I
have
bought.
it.
You still have it?
Yes. I couldn't get rid of it.
No.
It has artwork in it. And
It
everything.
does. It is actually a very nice box.
The lasers used to pack a lot of extra material
Extra,
that you don't
especially
see
the
anymore.
Disney's.
Well, overall, like I said before, I wouldn't say I would run out to see it again, but it's
Quickly.
it's a nice thing to kind of visit every now and then,
Absolutely.
and it definitely makes me want to see more, especially with the sequel. I love the sequel. I love it much more than this one, and I can't wait till they do another one.
Me too.
I want to see David Warner.
Me too.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
do a
and any chance
commentary on
to
Legacy.
see Jeff Bridges in a film because he's just
He's
amazing.
amazing.
That's right.
One of the best actors ever.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. I'd like to thank both the Steves. Thank
My
you guys.
pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
And we will see you again next time with another show or another commentary here on Geekfest Rants.
End of line.